I'm going to show you a fun card that you can create using the flowers, the framelit circles, and some of our sequins and beads. So let me show you the card that I've created. It's an interactive card using our bold Flora. It comes with multiple flowers, centers, leaves, branches, twigs, all sorts of great things. 17 total Thinlits in one package. How great is that? And using our framelit die, circle, and some flowers, I've created an interactive card that I think anybody would love to receive, whether it's a wedding, a bridal shower, just thinking of you card during these tough times we're all going through. I think it would be a great card that anybody would love to receive. So I used all the colors, or majority of the colors that are created and included in your box. Ballet slipper, cherry blossom, sorbet, primrose, lavender dust, green tea, mint julep, arctic sky, limoncello, and banana blast. And we are going to have a blast creating this card. The bold Flora comes with 17 total Thinlits. All the flowers and flower centers are right here. So it can cut majority of your cardstock, not too thick of papers because it's a chemical etched die. You also have your framelits, 3.5 inch circle, that's the one I use for the vase, the 2.5, the 2 inch, and the 1.25 inch circle. It also is included in your craft box are some sequins and beads, and we have our green tea and our cherry blossom. So all of our colors are coordinated within our color story. Our color story has felt, embossing powder, papers, glitter, sequins and beads, all of it's coordinated with all the name that coordinate with each other, and all of your project and products that we create will create a full color story for your project, and everything will be coordinated and everybody will love to see it. So there's be cohesive through all of the projects that you create. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and show you how I created the vase. The vase is just a simple way of showing you how to cut and fold on the score line, and then also cutting the circle die to create that vase. So using our 3.5 inch circle and our ballet slipper cardstock, I'm going to go ahead and cut out one circle. This is my Big Shot fold away, which I absolutely love. Now the products that I'm using here are scissors, our hot glue gun. We know that everybody has all sorts of different kind of glue guns. This is the one that I love to use, and it's perfect, handy, and all of our other tools also that we have I'm going to be using today, but we know that not everybody carries them, but it'll be a fun product that you can have to create some of your projects. So let me go ahead and show you what I did. I folded the circle in half. Sorry, I was busy chatting. Folded the circle in half, and then I'm going to take the corner here, and I want it to be as pointy as I can get. So I'm going to take my scissor, which has a cap to it, and I love using it as a bone folder because not everybody has bone folders. So I thought that would be a perfect little tip to use. And I'm going to do it folded. You want the score lines to be really firm, especially because it's going to be open and closed often in the card, and we know that your friends are going to be wanting showing it off. So when you see this extra part hanging off, you're not going to need that. So I'm going to go ahead and snip that. Careful not to snip away your fold. And that creates your tabs here. Now another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a straight line because I want the vase to have a straight edge at the front. If I did it like this, it doesn't look bad, which would be something that you would do probably if you were doing a project where the flowers are wrapped in the newspaper or some type of cellophane, but this is what I'm going to do for the vase. So with it folded like that, I'm going to take my scissor and I'm going to go ahead and cut it like that. Okay, so with my tape runner, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a coverage of adhesive on the entire tab here. You just want to make sure it's going to stay firm. Now we know you all have different type of double-sided tape, which is perfectly fine. You also have a liquid adhesive that would work just as well. So what I have here already gone, just to get started, a head start, I have the card already folded. I have one of my flower centers on there. And then it also has a panel on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead, and if you see here, you'll be able to see that the vase is opened and full. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that down in here. And you're going to want to have the point at the base as far down as you want it to be. And you're going to close it down like that. And it's right against this fold of the vase is at the fold of the score line. And then I'm going to close it up. And then I'm just gonna pop open like that, just because I scored it multiple times just to make sure it was a strong fold. And then I'm gonna close it up one more time, just to be sure that it opens up like that. So now it's ready to fill. So I've got all the flowers already cut, ready to go, and some of the stems. But I just want to show you a couple tricks that I like to do with my cutting of my flowers, just so I can have a bunch of flowers already ready to go, so I can plant my garden if I'm doing a garden card, or if I want to go ahead and fill a vase just like this. I'm going to do multiples at one time. So the great thing about our fold away is it has a 6-inch opening, just like our regular Big Shot. So I can do multiples at one time. So for my stems and leaves, I can lay them down like this, have them go all at the same time. If I want to do my flowers, see how many purple flowers I want. I can do a few at the same time. Let's see, how about a little bit of yellow? And you'll be amazed when you see the detail on some of these, because as it cuts it, those little tiny holes cut through from the pressure of the machine. It's my favorite part. Oops, forgot to put a die on that one. Left that little fella out. Okay, run this through. So you can do multiples. This is a perfect trick to do, so you don't have to do one at a time, one at a time. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it just get a lot done all together. So with my die pick, I'm going to poke out these little flowers. We have our little pick holes in there that gets it all out. So this one, I had already put our adhesive sheets. So if you're familiar with our adhesive sheets, they are an adhesive backing that you can lay on your cardstock and before you go ahead and cut it. So when you cut it, run it through after the adhesive sheet has already been added to it, and it creates a sticker already, ready to go. So I've got all these leaves, flower centers, ready to fill. This one already has an adhesive sheet, so this is a flower center. So I like to pick it either with the die pick or just scratch it with my nail. You can put it in the center of this flower like this. It's up to you however you want to create it, whatever color story you're going with. It's a perfect little technique you can use. This one I love. I love the detail of this one with the little outline edge. So with my sculpting tool, I like to use our little stylus, and it creates a dimension to your petals as you're running it around on top of the foam. So you can go ahead and do it like that. Use the hot glue. And then with a flower that I've already cut earlier, I'm going to go ahead and lay that on top of that like that. So that one's ready to go also. Any kind of color coordination you want to do. Oops, the glue's kind of flying around. So let's see, I've got a few more here. And with the poke holes, some of them fly right out, but these are perfect with the little die pick. So since I've got so many already ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and create some of my flowers. So here's my vase. What I like to do is lay my flowers down on the flat side. So I'm going to take some of our express glue. Like I said, you don't have to have the express glue. Any kind of wet glue would work, or if you put adhesive backing on it, that'll work just as well. So I'm just going to put a little dab on each piece. And then I'm just going to just sort of fill my vase. You want to make sure that all of your vase, all of your flowers and your leaves are to the side of the fold. Otherwise, your card won't fold tightly and it won't get an even closure on it. This one happened to have adhesive backing on it already, so I'm going to peel that off. And that one's ready to adhere down. And it's all to the right or the left of the fold of the card. A couple more. Now, for the ones that I want to make sure they're a little shorter, I can either trim them or just stick them a little further down into the card. And if I want to have one that maybe is just hanging off, I'm still going to glue it. I'm I'm going to glue the entire thing. Lay it down. Fold it down like that. It gives it a little dimension, makes it look a little more lifelike. Okay. Add a couple more on here. Dab it up a little bit. So the ones that I want to have in the front of the card and have on the inside of the vase, but more towards the front of the vase, I'm going to do the same idea, but the glue is going to be on the front of the leaf. And I'm just going to lay it down in front like that, hold it. So that gives you the full effect of the vase before you fill it with the flowers. So the branch that we have, this is a little twig. It just has the bare leaves, but when you're using this little berry here with an adhesive backing on it or using your adhesive glue, you can go ahead and add the berries to it. To save time, I did some already, but I'm going to show you how to just add the one. This one had adhesive backing. You could just use your wet glue if you'd like. And I'm going to go ahead and add it to the tip of that little branch. And that one is ready to add. So I think I want this one in the front of the card, front of the vase. So I'm going to go ahead, put my liquid adhesive, oops, express glue on there. Oh, I lost a berry. Oops, stuck to my finger. I'll add those later. I'm just going to hold it down just a little bit so it'll stick to the vase and not my finger. Go ahead and add some glue to the tip of this. We're so excited to see what everybody comes up with after they've seen our videos on different things you can do with our craft boxes. I'm going to have to add this one in a second. Let's see. My fingers are stickier than the glue. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and add this one. This one's the one I already had done, so I know it's stuck down well. And I'll add this one to the side here. And if they bend up, you can just add a little bit more glue just to make sure it adheres down, because you want to have it reinforce a little bit. Okay, so some of the flowers that I've already pre-cut, I've used the centers. Now what you can do with some of these, other than using the sculpting tool, is you can go ahead and cut a center out of it. So this one here has a cute little center, just it looks great like that. Or I could go ahead and add one of our centers in here like this. Or once the flower is cut, you can take one of the smaller centers that fit and run it through your machine and create a totally different flower. Go through. And then I could add that to a stem if I like. So that gives a great little motif in the middle, or you can go ahead and add another little piece that's already cut in there too to create that. So just to add a little dimension to my flowers, I'm going to use my, actually I will use my honey gun. And with our little finger protectors, these are perfect. So when I want to hold it and lay it down, I'm not going to burn myself, which we all know happens to all of us from time to time. Got that one flower in there. I can add one little single flower to a stem. And I can go ahead and add that to my arrangement. The sky's the limit when it comes to these. If you don't have a green thumb, you know for sure that these aren't going to wilt. They're not going to die. You know that they're going to stay fresh because they're made from paper. What could be better than paper flowers? So with some of the flowers I've already made, I'm just going to go ahead and lay them in there. Since some of the flowers are dimensional, you want to, this one already has adhesive on the back, so that makes it even better. You want to make sure that they're not going to be puffed up too much because the card won't close. So if I wanted to put this one in the center, I could cut this in the middle, lay it down there in the center, and then against the fold, and lay the other one against the fold on that side. And then you know it's going to close up because it's already creased down the center where the cut was. Let me add a couple more individual flowers using my stylus and my paper sculpting. I'm going to put one little glue dab in the middle here. I thought this flower needed a little bit of yellow, so I'm going to go ahead and put that there. And there we have it. Fill it up as much as you like, add some sentiments, a little message, and you could go ahead and decorate the front, just like I did here, using some of the same ideas. And let me show you really quickly how I did the butterfly. It's real simple, just the way I did the two-tone. I've already cut the butterfly once, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut her again one more time. But I'm gonna cut it with a adhesive back paper, so it's already going to be a sticker. Run it through the machine. Poke out the poke holes here. And the detail is gorgeous, isn't it? So what I want to do to create the actual butterfly, so it's two-tone, I'm going to trim off the part that I want to have at the top or the bottom, depends. So this would actually make another butterfly if I had another one already cut. So that's just going to be the top half. I'm going to peel it off. And then add it to the part that's already cut. So there's the butterfly there. If I wanted to do a center, I could either cut the center out of another butterfly or go ahead and use a marker to fill in to a darker center for the body. But since we're running out of time here, I'm just going to do a really quick adhesive backing to this. Actually, I'm going to use some glue. And just to hold it down, a die pick. And there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. Looking forward to seeing what you've created with your craft spring box. And I can't wait to see what Josh does tomorrow. If you tuned into Jen yesterday, I don't want to blow it, but you got to check it out. Have a great time and enjoy all the fun that's in store for you for all the projects you're going to create with your Sizzix Spring Craft Box.